So I just want to say, what we're going to do this evening, I think it's really beautiful that, it's so wonderful that we have Lior Zoref with us. Lior is an Israeli musician who's currently based in Cincinnati, and we're really thrilled to have him. And we're going to be doing what I think it's a really beautiful title. It's an Israeli Kabbalat Shabbat. I've been in Israel for various Shabbatot, and there's a really beautiful thing that I've been a part of in Israel, where even folks who are secular, even folks who maybe are not the most religious, for them, Shabbat is still Shabbat, for a couple of reasons. One, because that's the only name that they know for Saturday. There's not another name for Saturday in Israel, it's just Shabbat. And it's the day off. There's no work on Shabbat. No one works on Shabbat, everything is closed. And so even people who maybe don't go to synagogue, don't go to a religious service, still often will do something on Friday night. Maybe celebrate with their family at home and do kiddush, or maybe go and do a little bit of shira b'tzibur, maybe go and do a little bit of singing together. And they don't necessarily sing religious songs per se, but they sing songs that help to bring in Shabbat, songs that are in the spirit of Shabbat. And so what we're going to do today is a mix of some of those Israeli songs that are kind of Israeli pop songs that are in the spirit of Shabbat, and then some more Jewish traditional songs, and then some songs that actually come from the Kabbalat Shabbat service, from the service that will be in your Sidurim and Kabbalat Shabbat. So it's going to be a mishmash of cultures and of traditions, and we're really excited to have Lior here to take it away.
Thank you.
No, they're still, it's muted from here.
If we could ask folks at home to mute yourself on the Zoom, so that everyone will be able to hear what's going on here in the sanctuary. Thank you. You lost your mic.
Just a second, please.
Pause
Okay.
for dramatic effect.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Shabbat Shalom. How are you? So good to see you in person first. So I am Lior Zoref, and I'm here in the U.S. for 2.5 years, and I'm here because of my wife. She just went in. She's struggling with the beginning. It will be okay. So Adi is a physician, and she's researching now a hematologic disease called HLH in a children's hospital in Cincinnati. So we are here with our 3 kids, and we are really enjoying ourselves. We were supposed to be here for 1 year, and we will finish by being here for 3 years. So it's only because 2 things. One is because we have so much fun, and the second is that Adi is having a good research. So knock, knock. So anyway, in Israel, I was a high school principal. I'm an educational leader. And also I learned music for a few years, so that's my biggest love in life. I was also a naval officer in the Israeli Navy for a few years. Mostly I'm a proud Israeli Jewish guy, so that is why I'm here. And I love bringing the glimpse into the Israeli society, Israeli vibe, and that's what we're going to do today. And I welcome you not just listen. I want you to sing, if it's okay with you. And if you, part of the songs, I'm sure you'll know the lyrics. Part of them are English, and if not, there is a translation here over the screen. You will see beautiful pictures of Israel during the presentation. Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and other special places, so you can try to recognize if you know it, and if not, there is a small words that explains about every place.
I can't just sit here
and that's all.
with a
So let's
silent
sing
nothing.
along,
I can't
okay?
hear anything.
So what? Just sit there.
I
So
am.
the first
but
song will be Kol Galgal. the wheel sound. Actually, it's a song of an interesting band. They are secular Jewish guys,
Could try to
but
reach
they're
out.
singing these
She's
lyrics
there. I
from
don't know if
the
it'll ring.
Holy Zohar.
Is that a synagogue?
Yeah,
And the phone won't ring in there.
probably not.
Usually, I
That's
offer
Eileen, and that's
people-
Gary.
I offer you to close your eyes just for 3 minutes and enjoy the round and round music. כל גלגל המתגלגל למטה למעלה מרכבות תוצאות הולכות ומתגלגלות כל שופן עולה ויורד הולך ומשוטט בעולם כל שופן נמשך בעומקי המדרגות מסתובב הגלגל סביב
Oops.
יא 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 כל גלגל המתגלגל למטה למעלה מרכבות תוצאות הולכות ומתגלגלות יו 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 הו יו 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 זהו כל גלגל המתגלגל למטה
There you go.
למעלה Please sing along. שלום עליכם מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון Beautiful מי מלך מלאכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא בואכם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון Beautiful מי הקדוש ברוך הוא ברכוני לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון מי מלך מלאכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא צאתכם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי Thank you, Rabbi, for the drumming. Okay, do we have kids here? So come over, please. Come join this area. We'll sing 2 or 3 songs for the kids, but it's not only for the kids, yeah?
Young at heart. Come on, Lizzie, come on, Aviva. Come on.
Okay, so this song called Bim Bam. Ready? Do you know it? Kids? No? Okay, so you'll
we did
learn
this
it
earlier.
right now. I didn't know it in Israel. It's an American song. So, ready? That's a quiet, the peace, atmosphere. If you're ready for Shabbat, put your hands in the air. If you're ready for Shabbat, it's pretty important you brush your hair. If you're ready for Shabbat, maybe we can tap our feet. If you're ready for Shabbat, clap your hands to the beat and sing. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, hey. Shabbat shalom, hey. Shabbat 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 shalom, hey. Shabbat shalom, hey. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, hey. Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, hey. Shabbat shalom, hey. Shabbat 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 shalom. Yeah?
Encore.
Okay.
Maybe later.
Next, in two songs. Okay. Second. If someone have a joke or something, meanwhile, that's a good time. Okay. Not sure why it's falling all the time. Okay, so this is also an American song about doing mitzvah. And actually, what it says practically is liot tzaddik is a good thing, right? So let's sing for it. Ready? מצווה גוררת מצווה, עבירה גוררת עבירה, או מצווה גוררת מצווה, גוררת מצווה, ידדדדד. להיות צדיק זה טוב, זה טוב, להיות צדיק זה טוב מאוד, מצווה גוררת מצווה, עבירה גוררת עבירה, מצווה גוררת מצווה, גוררת מצווה, דה 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 דה. Okay.
So the traditional Kabbalat Shabbat service is a collection of Tehillim, a collection of 6 psalms. And hopefully you either grabbed one on your way in, or there might be one right in front of you, one of the bright red Lev Shalem Sidurim. And we're now going to turn to the first of those 6 Tehillim, those 6 psalms, which are meant to represent the 6 days of the week leading up to Shabbat. In Hebrew, as we said, the only word for Saturday is Shabbat, and each day is just counting toward Shabbat. So Sunday is Yom Rishon, the first day. Monday is Yom Sheni, the second day, and we're just getting more and more excited as we go through toward Shabbat. And so the Kabbalists in Sfat in the 16th century put together these 6 Tehillim, these 6 psalms that are meant to be sung to prepare us to welcome Shabbat. And this first one, Psalm 95, can be found on page 11, and Cantor Hordes is going to lead us.
Sure, join me. Lehu neranena l'Adonai, nariha letzorishenu, nekama fanav betodah, bizmirot nariha lo, nekama fanav betodah, bizmirot nariha lo. Ki el gadol Adonai umelech gadol al kol Elohim asher be'ado mekarei haaretz v'to'afot harim lo asher be'ado mekarei haaretz v'to'afot harim lo.
And as we return to Lior, this next song that he's going to lead us in is actually neither Israeli nor American. It's actually Ukrainian. It's a song that is based on a teaching of Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav.
Well, it's
that
your
we talked about,
grandchild, for Christ's sake.
that we talked about last week.
I have kids.
Bob, I'm watching, but my head hurts.
Yeah, I know. If we could make sure, folks on the Zoom, if you could
Like
please
what?
stay muted. If you could please not unmute yourself, that would be lovely.
I'll leave it on.
But
And I'll
we
sit here
are
and try to do my
here. This song, this teaching of Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav, that the whole world is a very narrow bridge. V'ha'ikar lo lefachad klal. But the important thing is not to fear. And Rabbi Nachman was from Bratslav and from the town of Uman in Ukraine. These towns that have come under attack over the past week. Uman was one of the first cities that was attacked by the Russians when they invaded. And our hearts go out to those who are in Ukraine. As we said last week, Rabbi Nachman probably would have been very surprised that Ukraine would have a Jewish president who was leading their people through this time. But we send our hearts and our prayers to President Zelensky and the rest of the Ukrainian population, including many Jews. And we know that it's hard to say the ha'ikar lo lefachad klal, that the main thing is to have no fear. But we hope that even though their world may feel like a very narrow bridge, that they can take, that we can help send them some joy and some solace through this song.
Bye.
כל העולם כולו גשם צר מאוד, גשם צר מאוד, גשם צר מאוד, כל העולם כולו גשם צר מאוד, גשם צר Once more.
Everybody.
והעיקר, והעיקר,
לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל.
והעיקר, והעיקר, לא לפחד
But he
כלל.
spent 15 minutes in the water, and Tiffany was told his body temperature dropped to 92 degrees. Much longer, and things could have ended far worse.
הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד.
הנה מה
Beautiful.
גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים,
שבת אחים גם יחד. Beautiful. Next one. Next one. הוא עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. הוא עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום. Once, quiet now. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. Now, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
We're now going to return to our Tehillim, return to the Sidur. You can find on page 13 in the Hebrew, and in the transliteration on the left-hand side of the page is a nigun, a melody that we sing a lot here. So if you like this one, come on back on other Friday nights. We sing this. Yeah. We sing this every Friday night. We have fun with it. And at the end, you'll see there's lots of words in Hebrew. And then at the end, we're going to go to Yaina na nai nai. So if you can't figure out the words then I can't help you. But we hope that you'll sing along. Try to make it through the Hebrew, and then your reward at the end is to get to Yaina na nai nai along with us.
שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני, כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בסו מיום ליום, ישועתו, ספרו הגויים, כבודו, בכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני, ומולה מאוד, נורא הוא, על כל אלוהים, איי איי איי, כי כל אלוהי העמים אלימים, ואדוני שמיים עשה, ובהדר לפניו, עושה תפארת במקדשו, עברו לאדוני משפחות עמים, עברו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, עברו לאדוני כבוד שמו, שאו ממך ובאו לחצרותיו, השתחוו לאדוני ביד הקודש, גילו מפניו כל הארץ, אמרו בגויים, אדוני מלך, אפיקון תבל בעתיבות, ידין העמים במישרים, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו, יעלו שדה, וכל אשר בו, אז ירננו כל הצייר לפני אדוני, כי בא לשפוט
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So you have so much luck that you have people like this that can sing. Amazing. So I want to reflect something from this point of view. So all this thing with the COVID made us, on one hand, Kol Haolam Kulo Gesher Tzar, and we have the Zoom people and you all together. On the other hand, from my point of view, I see only masks and people social distancing. So you can help us with, first of all, with clapping, second with singing, third with smiling, and then we can see like here in the eyes a smile, and then I will feel much more connected because it's really tough. So just sharing. Oh, so we need to connect it with this. Ooh, just a second. Electronics, okay. We are good. So this song is about Jerusalem. So just press here.
Get your own roadie.
No?
Oh.
Yeah. Other side? Yeah. No? Okay. Okay. So this song is Adon Olam, you know it, yeah? So you're more than welcome to... וחפץ הכל, זי מלך שמו נקרא, אחרי ככלות הכל, לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה, הוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה, הוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה, הוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה. אדון עולם. The next song is about Jerusalem. It's not so familiar in the States, so you can just enjoy and see the translation. Okay, so we have also the American way to pronounce it and the translation, so you can do whatever. שבחי ירושלים את אדוני הללי אלוהיך ציון שבחי ירושלים את אדוני הללי אלוהיך ציון. Just the drums. You can clap. Please. כי חיזקת בריחי שערייך כי חיזקת בריחי שערייך ברך בנייך בקרבך ברך בנייך בקרבך ברך בנייך בקרבך הללי הללי אלוהיך ציון הללי הללי אלוהיך ציון.
And for those of you who are in our Make Services Meaningful Again class, this appears in Psukei de Zimra, in those verses of song that we sing every morning that we talked about this past week.
Beautiful. Od yavo shalom aleinu, we will bring the peace together. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu We will bring the peace together. Od yavo shalom aleinu everyone. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al. All the kids, come over here. Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Shalom, salam, salam. Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. We will bring the peace together. We will bring the peace together. We will bring the peace together for everyone. Salam, forever and between everyone. Salam, 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 forever and between everyone. Salam, salam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam.
So now I wanted to bring in a piece of what we do here every Friday night, even when Lior, who's amazing, isn't here with us. So I'd like to invite you to close your eyes for a moment. Maybe sit up a little straighter, let your feet lie both flat on the floor. Let your hands rest on your thighs. And I know it can be a little bit challenging when you're wearing a mask, but I invite you to take a nice deep breath in through your nose and let it go out through your mouth. And then take another deep breath in and let it go out through your mouth. And continue to breathe like that, nice and deep and relaxing. We talked a little bit before about the core of Kabbalat Shabbat being these 6 Tehillim, these 6 Psalms meant to represent the days of the week. And so we like to take a moment here at KI on Friday nights and just think back on the week that was. Try to remember where you were this past Sunday. Sometimes that can feel like a world away. The anticipation of a new week starting to build, maybe the dread of all the things you had to do, everything you needed to get done, maybe excitement of something fun you got to do as the weekend wound down. Thinking back on Monday and Tuesday, what went well, perhaps where you fell short. Remembering to continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as the week crested through Wednesday and Thursday, perhaps for you, like me, those 2 days feel like a blur right now. There was so much to do, so much activity. Perhaps you were running around to a soccer practice or a dance rehearsal. Perhaps you were working late or you got home a little bit early. You cooked something nice for dinner. And then arriving today at Friday, Friday night, entering into Shabbat is like one big exhale, one big letting go. We're about to enter into what Abraham Joshua Heschel, a great rabbi, called a palace in time. when we don't need to worry about the rest of the week. So take a big, deep breath in through your nose and let that whole week go. Everything that went well, everything that maybe didn't go well, anything you maybe still need to get done, doesn't matter now. Because we're here together to welcome Shabbat. We're here together to say that yes, the outside world can be fast-paced, but we can take time to just be together, and that's meaningful. So take one last deep breath in, let it go. Let your eyes open. Maybe take a little roll of your neck. We have just a couple more songs together, a couple more songs to sing as part of Kabbalat Shabbat. So if perhaps to this point you've been holding back, you haven't been letting yourself sing, you've been able to see the words but you don't quite know the melodies, no one's judging you. No one's thinking, oh, wow, that person is really off key, because, the rabbi's a little off key, so it's okay. So let's join together, and we're going to sing on page Lecha Dodi, which can be found on page. Pause for dramatic effect. I should know this by
23.
now. We'd lead this every week, but if you turn to page 23, we're going to do the first two verses and the last two verses of
We're
Lecha
too
Dodi.
blissed out from our meditation
Yeah.
to think about numbers.
So Lecha Dodi is this song. Lecha Dodi is this song that welcomes the Shabbat, that we just kind of mentally and emotionally welcomed Shabbat, and now we're going to sing to welcome Shabbat together. And as we reach the final verse, we're actually all going to stand up. And it's the one time in Judaism that when we stand up, we don't face the Aron HaKodesh, we don't face the Ark. We turn and we face the entrance. We face the door to literally welcome Shabbat in, to bow to Shabbat as she comes into the room. So I invite you to turn to page 23. I'm good at this.
Right.
23 for Lecha Dodi.
All right. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad ishmi'anu, el hamiuchad Adonai echad, u'shemo echad l'shem u'tiferet, ve'elitila lecha Dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha ki mekor, haberacha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aser b'machshava tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela.
Second to last verse.
V'hayulim shisa shosayich v'racha kurkol, mevalayich yasis alayich Elohayich, kimsos chatan al kala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Yamin u'smol tivotzi et Adonai, taritzi ayadish, ben parti v'nismecha v'nagila.
I invite you to rise and turn to the back.
Likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom, ater bala gam b'simcha, u'v'tzola toker monei am segula.
דודי
לקראת קלה ונשבה נקווה
יין עיניי, יין I invite Lior for one last song. We'll sing together. When I saw that this was on his playlist, I really loved it. It's perhaps the least Israeli song, but also the most Israeli song. In the whole, חשבתי, לא, What a Wonderful World. That he sings at the end of his Kabbalat Shabbat. No? You'd rather do this? Okay, never mind. We're not going to sing the song that I was thinking of. We're going to sing this one, which is also very Israeli and very not Israeli. It's Lu Yehi, which you might know in English as Let It Be. And it was written as a not-so-veiled cover of this song, and it actually was released in Israel in 1973, right around the time of the Yom Kippur War, and it became kind of an unofficial anthem of that time in Israel. And it's a really gorgeous song, and I'm excited to finish off with it here with Lior.
Thank you so much. So, as Rabbi said, this song is not an Israeli song, of course, but the lyrics are lyrics of the poet Naomi Shemer. She's she already died, but she was a very, very famous poet. And while she was listening to Let It Be, the original one, she wanted to translate it, and then she wrote these words, and she changed the music. But today we will do the music that you know of Let It Be with the Hebrew and the English words. עוד יש מפרש לבן באופק מול ענן שחור כבד כל שנבקש לו יהי ואם בחלונות הערב אור נרות החג אוהד כל שנבקש לו יהי לו יהי לו יהי לו יהי לו יהי כל שנבקש לו יהי. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they may see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Thank you. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. ואם פתאום מזרח מאופל על ראשנו או כוכב, כל שנבקש לו יהי. אז תן שלווה ותן גם כוח לכל אלו שנאהב, כל שנבקש. Let it be, לו יהי, let it be, לו יהי. Speaking words of wisdom, לו יהי. Let it be, לו יהי, לו יהי. כל שנבקש, לו יהי. כל שנבקש, let it be. שבת שלום.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Yasher Koach, Lior, thank you so much for helping us with that beautiful service. Between, yeah. Give it up for
Thank you. You were amazing.
Between Kabbalat Shabbat and Mariv, between the services of Kabbalat Shabbat and the evening service, it's traditional to teach some words of Torah, but in my tradition and in the tradition of my summer camp, it's traditional to tell stories. And so I have a story that I want to tell, but I'm going to need all of your help with it. Okay? So, yeah, my sisters know what story is coming. So, I need you to repeat after me. It was crispy, golden brown on the outside,
It was crispy, golden in the outside,
white and fluffy on the inside.
white and fluffy in the inside.
A matzia,
A metzia,
a machaya,
a chaya,
a delicious Shabbos treat.
a delicious Shabbos treat.
Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem.
Okay, we're going to try that all together once. You're not going to remember it all, but you're going to say it enough times that you'll remember it by the end of the story. So, it was crispy, golden brown on the outside, white and fluffy on the inside, a matzia, a machaya, a delicious Shabbos treat. Baruch Hashem. So once upon a time in the old country, which again, this old country of ours very well may have been in the Pale of Settlement in Poland or in Ukraine, there was a baker. And she was not just the best baker in her town, she was the best baker in the whole region, which puts her high up in the running for best baker in the world. And she made the best hamantashen, and she made the best matzah, and she, which is, a little tough, but she did it. And she made the best bread, and she made the best everything, but what she was really, really, really known for was her challah. All over the city and all over the region and all over the world, they would talk about her challah, and they would say, it's so crispy, golden, brown on the outside, white and fluffy on the inside, a matzia, a machaya, a delicious Shabbos treat, Baruch Hashem. And they would say this about her challah all over the place, and people would line up around the block every single Friday just to get an opportunity to get some of this challah. And one week, she realized as she was making all of her challahs that she had some leftover ingredients. And she realized she had just about enough left over to make one more challah. She had just the right amount of flour, just the right amount of different spices and eggs and all those other good challah-y things. Yeast, I think, is one of them. I don't actually make challah that often. But she put them all together and she braided it and put it in the oven, and out popped the most amazing challah that she had ever seen. Even more than any other challah she had made before, this challah was so crispy, golden, brown on the outside, white and fluffy on the inside, a matzia, a machaya, a delicious Shabbos treat, Baruch Hashem, that she didn't know what to do. She didn't want to sell this challah. This challah was too good just to give to any person who happened to line up at her store. So she was thinking, what should I do with this challah? And she said, this challah is fit for Hashem, is fit for God. And so what she did was she went early to Friday night services, just like all of you did, and she went even earlier before anyone would get there, and she snuck up to the Aron HaKodesh, she snuck up to the ark, and she put the challah inside and closed the ark and walked out. And then she, came to services and did the thing, and on Friday nights we don't open the ark, so no one knew, and she was just kind of sitting there like, oh, my challah's in there. And then a machaya. It was so delicious. No, come on, Lior. It was so crispy golden brown on the outside, white and fluffy on the inside, a metzia, a machaya, a delicious Shabbos treat, Baruch Hashem. And she went home that night so happy that she knew that tomorrow morning when they opened the ark during the Torah service, everyone would see this amazing challah. And so she came to shul the next morning, and she got there on time, which was unusual for her as much as it is for anyone else. And she was ready there for the Torah service, and when the ark was opened, the challah was gone. Okay, let's try that again. I need to see more surprise. The challah was gone. There, thank you. That was wonderful. You're a great crowd. So the challah was gone, and she was stupefied. She was like, "Oh my God, what is happening? God must have accepted my challah. After all, it was so crispy, golden brown on the outside, white and fluffy on the inside. A metzia, a machaya, a delicious Shabbos treat. Baruch Hashem, that of course God would want this challah." So what did she have to do the next week? She had to make God another challah, of course. Because if God likes your challah, you don't stop giving God challah. So this time on purpose, she set aside just the right amount for one really amazing challah, and she poured all of her love and all of her energy into this challah. And of course, again, popped out a challah that was so crispy, golden brown on the outside, white and fluffy on the inside. A metzia, a machaya, a delicious Shabbos treat. Baruch Hashem, that she once again knew it was fit for God. It was fit for Hashem, so she took it, and she went to shul early, and she put it in the ark. And again, the next morning, she came to shul, and the ark opened, and the challah was gone. Quick learners. And so every week, she started this tradition of she would bake all of her challahs for everyone who came and lined up, because she was still very famous, well-known baker. She couldn't just set everything else aside and bake God challahs. So she would bake this challah every week and put it in the ark, and every week on Shabbos, the challah would be gone by the time they would get to the Torah service. And then one week, as happens to all of us, she was running a little late. Things got busy in the shop. Maybe it was around a holiday. Maybe one of her employees had to call in sick. Whatever it was, she was running a little late. And so she came and she put the challah in the ark, and then as she was walking out, she heard someone else walk in a different door. Who could it be? And she saw the janitor of the shul, the shamas, someone who was, around and would clean up after things and wasn't anyone particularly, important, but was just there. And she turned around and she saw the shamas walk up to the ark and open the ark and take out the challah. Oh my goodness, can you believe it? No, this challah wasn't made for a shamas. This challah was made for God. This challah was so crispy, golden brown on the outside, white and fluffy on the inside. A metzia, a machaya, a delicious Shabbos treat. Baruch Hashem. Who does this shmata, who does this janitor think that he is taking this challah? And so she was very upset, but then everyone started filing in for services, so she couldn't, get mad in front of everyone about this because no one else knew about the secret challah. And so she decided she was going to follow the janitor home that night and give him a piece of her mind. And she meant to accost him right after shul, but, she got caught up schmoozing as these things happen, and the janitor had already left, and she saw him walking away, and she went and she tried to start following him. And she's following the janitor, and she's trying to catch up to him, and they're walking, and they start out there in kind of the nicer area of town where the shul is, and then they're walking, and she realizes they're walking to the less and less nice areas of town, that the janitor doesn't live in one of the nice houses. Eventually, they're in an area where the roads aren't paved, where the houses are not as nice, where they're tin-roofed, where they don't have real floors, they just have straw thrown on the ground. And she goes, and she can't believe that her challah, this beautiful challah made for God, is being taken to this terrible area of town. And she goes and she sees the janitor turn into an alleyway and another one, and she's trying to follow, and finally she reaches the janitor's door and she looks in the window and she sees the janitor place the challah down on his Shabbat table. And the family gathers around and they said, God, thank you for this challah that is so crispy, golden brown on the outside, white and fluffy on the inside, a metzia, a machaya, a delicious Shabbos treat. Baruch Hashem. And the janitor said, I don't know what it is that we deserve to do to be so lucky that, God, that you have been giving us a challah every week that makes us feel so special. That we don't have much. We live not in the nicest area of town. We don't have the nicest food. But we have one thing every week that makes us feel special. And the baker realized that God had given her the opportunity to make this person feel special, to make this family feel special every week. So what I want each of you to think about just a little bit this Shabbat is what's one thing that you can do that can make someone else feel special this weekend? What's one gift that you have? You might not be able to use God as an intermediary in the way that the baker did, but what's one thing that you can do to make someone else feel special? What's one gift that you can give, one talent that you have that no one else can do, that you can do the best in the world? Maybe it's giving a really good hug. Maybe it's giving someone a really nice compliment. Maybe it's cooking someone a really nice meal. Whatever it is, that thing that you can do for someone else that makes them feel special, that makes them feel nice, try doing it this weekend or this week. Try doing that one thing like the baker. And maybe, just maybe, next weekend you might also try baking a challah. And maybe it'll be so crispy golden brown on the outside, white and fluffy on the inside. A matzia, a machaya, a delicious Shabbos treat, Baruch Hashem, that when you eat it, you'll feel really special too. Shabbat Shalom. We are running a little late, just like the baker was, and we don't want to hold folks up from being able to get home and to enjoy their Shabbat dinners. So we're not going to do a full Mariv service, but I do know that we may have folks with us who are observing a yortzeit or otherwise saying Kaddish. So while we have a minyan here, we do want to share the names of those who are on our yortzeit list, who are thinking of this morning, and invite all those who are saying Kaddish, whether you are in a period of mourning or observing a yortzeit, to join us for that. So this we are currently. Today was the first of Adar Bet. Today was Rosh Chodesh, and we are keeping in our minds and in our hearts the memories of Saul Chesloff, Joseph Green, Augusta Klempner, Julius Rogowski, Zichronam Livracha. And as the sun sets this evening and we turn into Shabbat, we also hold in our minds and our hearts the memory of Bani Cohen, Zichrona Livracha. We also continue to extend condolences to the family of Jackie Goldman, who's in the period of Shloshim, and to the family of Sandy Berman, who are sitting Shiva right now. I'm going to grab a Siddur. And I invite everyone to turn to page 58. And I ask those of you who are observing a yortzeit or in a period of mourning, or for whom it is your custom to rise and to join me on page 58 for Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shomei rabba. Be'alma divra kirute v'yamlich malchute. B'chaychon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabba mevorach leolam olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'ishtabach v'pa'ar v'tromam v'itnaseh. Vitadar, vitale, vitalal, shemei de kudesha berichu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, alenu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us this evening. Just a couple of quick announcements. Tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m., we're back here. We're installing, we're singing, we're praying, we're Torahing, we're doing all the fun things. So please join us here tomorrow morning for Shabbat services. And then tomorrow night, we're back with Lior for some live music Israeli dancing, some Rikudei Am to end Shabbat. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll do Havdalah, and then we'll do some Israeli dancing together. If you don't know the dances, that's okay. We're going to be teaching them. You should still come. Don't feel like, oh, I've never Israeli danced before. This isn't for me. We'd love to have you there as well. And then the fun doesn't stop there. Monday evening, make services meaningful again. Our class this week will be talking about piyutim. We'll be talking about liturgical poetry and the beauty that it brings to our services. And then Wednesday, Jews and Brews. Next Shabbat, we'll be celebrating the bat mitzvah of Molly Hales. We're very excited for that. And then Purim is that following week, I think. It's like coming up. So if you don't have your costume yet, make sure you get a costume. It's going to be fun. We're going to be here in person. We're going to be dressed all silly. We're going to be yelling at Haman. It's going to be a party. We look forward to seeing many of you there. And then last thing, real quick, that following Shabbat is the 100th anniversary of the first bat mitzvah. Of the first bat mitzvah in the world. So Knesset Israel is joining synagogues all around the world in celebrating that anniversary and that milestone. So especially if you are someone who has had a bat mitzvah before, or maybe even if you haven't had a bat mitzvah before, we would love to invite you to take part in that service too. I think we still have 1 or 2 Torah readings left. We have 2 Torah readings left. If you want to lead a part of the service, even if it's as small as just leading Aleinu or leading like one prayer, we'd love to get everyone up here who is able to help us to celebrate that wonderful milestone. I think that is all the announcements. Yeah. Oh, wait. Last announcement is that there are little to-go bags outside with a little treat to go. So feel free to grab one to sweeten your Shabbat table. And I hope that everyone has a really, really wonderful Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. And why don't we close with singing again, as Lior promised, that Bim Bam, and sing a little Shabbat Shalom Hey to send us out. Bim Bam, Bim 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 Bam, Bim 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 Bam, Chitty Bitty Bitty Bim Bam, Bim 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 Bam, Bim 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 Bam.
Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, y'all.